Let's make something up-tempo utilizing the new Native Instruments plugins and the Play series. So I'm going to go grab one of my progressions. I'm going to grab, let's use Homage. Let's use that. I'm going to go grab a random progression. We're going to play something. And let's make something up-tempo. Little clip of the beat that you hear in the background is the beat we're about to make. But let's get to it. What's going on, guys? It's your brother O.T.G. The O.T.G's for Overtime Grind. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. And today, you can see right now, I'm going through my progressions. You can get that folder of progressions. It's down in the description. I'm going through my progressions folder, and I'm just going to grab a random progression. And I got Native Instruments Homage lined up. I'm going to see whatever little riff I could come up with using the progressions, whatever one comes up first. We'll tap the tempo, and we're going to make a beat out of that. You know, I'm on my Live 2. I got the MPC Live 3 or MPC 3 software on it. I think I might go with this. So I'm going to tap the tempo. It's kind of at the speed that I was looking for this little riff that I'm doing. That's some kind of K-Tronada type of progression. You could get that in the description. All right, it says my tempo's 91 BPM. So I'm going to go lay this down. You see, we didn't even come up with it. We just made it up off the top of the head right there. And we're using a keys. I think it's DAC concert keys. I'm just using the keys preset from Homage. We got that in there. Now we're going to go over to my arrangement window. We're going to go ahead and get those couple notes we played off. We're going to get those together. When you're doing this, you always want to remember those notes down at the bottom. Always forget. Had me sitting here stuck for a second. Good enough for me to remind you, you know, this is MPC 3. I'm on my Live 2. It's MPC 3.4.1 or whatever. You know, I'm like on whatever day. I haven't had any hiccups, no problems. I don't go back and load old beats. We just make new beats all the time. You know, I've been sampling. I've been making stuff. I've been doing things. And I haven't had any catastrophic errors, no hangups, no glitches, no problems, no complaints. It's been running really well for me. You know, that's my 2 cents in that space. You know. Again, like I said in the other video, I don't really utilize some of the other features. I'm not big on the arrangement window, even though I have it. You know. And I know how to use it. I have the force. Just in my MPC workflow, I don't really need an arrangement screen. I have a way and a method that I get it done. And you guys are about to see that. You know, I utilize it all the time. Sometimes I use song mode, but most of the time I just get it done this way. Now we found what we was looking for. Now we got our little riff together. You get what I mean? You can see. You can see it. See the progression and what it played. I'm okay with how some of the notes are a little off. I'm all right with that. We just want to get those ones that were big time off, get those done. Let's go ahead and name it Housekeeping. Get our housekeeping together. Now I'm gonna go over to the effects screen and turn up the reverb, hit my Q-Link knob, get it over to the 4th spot, turn my first Q-Link. I got all kinds of dust and stuff on top of my MPC, man. I've been going crazy on it. Don't judge it, don't judge it. I just turn on and go, bro. You know, I use my drum machines there in a place. We use a studio every day. We sit in here every day. Right now I'm loading up the faded reels, Native Instruments drum kit. It's the DTK kit. I'm going to change all those purple pads. All those purple pads are loops and shit. I'm going to take all them loops off, but I'll use those 3 drum sounds. We'll go load our own drums up. We'll do that right now. Get rid of that so we don't accidentally hit the wrong button. We'll press menu and we'll stay in that faded reels. What we'll do is we will go and just search it. You can see I have 2 of them. So I have the Play Series one that they release, and then, you know, I have the one that I created. I'm using the one that I created. Just because I'm not really going to go into that, but I'm going to use that one. Same sound, same drum kits, different tonality and different volume out of the gate. You know, so that's all I would say about that. We're going to go ahead and fill these up. Normally I would tell you to color your pads, but I'm not even going to color the pads. I'm anxious to get this beat going. I've been sampling all day, you know, working a bunch of sessions and doing a bunch of things. I've just been chopping, songwriting and doing stuff like that. I like making beats from scratch. You know, sometimes the thought process of putting it together, the puzzle that we're putting together, is fun to me. So one of the ways you utilize these expansions is you don't have to necessarily always use the kit. You could just go in there, press in the search box and search. You know, if you search in the search box, you could search what you're looking for. Like right now, I put HH for hi-hat. Right now I'm going to add kick. And see, now we're going to get a kick to go with that 808. Because I like that 808 and I like those Congo sounds or whatever those percussive sounds are. I wouldn't have chose those on my own. I would have chose a clap or a snare. So just load in this random kit got me right with some sounds that I wouldn't use, and we can always go and find sounds that we would use. And so we got the 808 right there. We'll go ahead and lay that down. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get alerts for all the different videos and different things that I am doing. You know, now that we got that, we go through, listen to our sounds, see what they sounding like, you know. We put our kick in, you get your kick in, you could put it in a you don't have to do a crazy pattern because we also got that 808 right there. And notice I don't have the full level on, so I'm not going to play these hi-hats at full level either. Now that we got those hi-hats together, I definitely like utilizing my note repeat as a way to kind of get the hi-hats and get certain patterns in that I wouldn't normally play. Now I'm going to go through. Sometimes you'll go through, select all these drums, and you won't even use them, but it's okay. You'll save them. I don't go through purging or any of that stuff yet, because you never know where you might go in the future, you know, because this is this beat right now for the moment. That's part of why you don't try to be too perfect all the time. Like, especially if you're one of those guys who's coming back to touch all your beats up, you know, then certain moves you need to start thinking in ways that are more efficient and help you get to the end of the beat. So, you know, sometimes I might come back and add drums later. Like, I may come back and add another kick. I may come back and add another 808. It may take me 2 days, you know, but also stuff like that I could do in Ableton or in another program later on. So I may leave the beat open for that, meaning I might not put a whole drum kit in there. I mean, a whole bass line in there. You know, we might just have kick, snare the entire beat, and whatever the lows or the mids are inside of the instruments as a bass line until I could live with the bass line that I'm creating. You know, you have the ability to do whatever you want to do and push it as far as you want to push it, and whichever way you want to do it. So right now we have Analog Dreams lined up. I'm going to use this Analog Dreams to kind of spice up what I got going on already. I'm going to go look for a pad. Sometimes when you're going and looking for pad, the sound might not even be the sound that you're looking for. You know, that was one of the things I was thinking about since the last video. You know, in your mind, you might think of some kind of horn, some kind of whatever it is. You want to try to locate it as close to the sound that you think it might be in your library inside of your drum machine, your sampler, or whatever. So, you know, maybe you're thinking about a crazy bass line, but you keep looking for bass and you can't find it. Maybe you should check out an organ with low pitch. That might be what you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for an electric piano with the pitch lower. That might be what you're looking for. You know, so maybe what you're looking for isn't a bass. Maybe it is actually in the keys. Maybe you can find it in actual string bass. You know what I mean? So there's all kinds of ways and places you can find sounds that you're looking for to kind of work with your other sounds. And category wise is the easiest way to think about it. I'm gonna open up the Sway. Let's check it out. Let's see if it's got anything worth using. For this beat, at least. It's got a bunch of dope stuff. I've made a couple beats with it before. You guys seen it on the channel. I showed you it all maxed out with all the Native Instruments plugins, and with all the plugins filled to the max, all the new ones, plus 16 drum sounds. You know, we put it through the ringer. We didn't have any problems with memory, none of that. So Not only did you see it, you saw it go from beginning to end, just like you're seeing right now. I don't think the music hasn't stopped since 5 minutes, and we're at 15 minutes right now. So we came up with the riff in about 5 minutes. We're at 15 minutes, and we're adding in bass lines and adding in other parts of the beat right now. So, you could see, and I'm loading pretty big plugins. There's Fabric. We got a couple of the Native Instruments Play series. I'm using a drum kit from Faded Reels, and we're not having no issues. This is just to add a little bit of build to it or body to it. I want it to sound a little thicker. Pause. It's only our 4th track. I start feeling like I got too many tracks once I get over 4 and 5. But I'm having some ideas as I'm building this out. We got our keys, we got a pad, we got synth. So we got 2 Native Instruments plugins plus Fabric, and 1 drum kit with 16 sounds. Started with a bunch of loops, but we ended up with our own drum kit. Alright, now we're loading our 4th plugin. We're loading, and we have 2 Native Instruments plugins, 1 Fabric, and right now I'm loading in Solina. Remember what I tell you all the time, just because you got new plugins, don't forget the old ones. Solina is a free one that comes with the MPC. Doesn't mean that it doesn't have good sounds in it. If you had that hardware machine right in front of you, it wouldn't matter how old it was. If you was looking for a specific sound, you would touch it. So on the MPC, these are some of the best emulators of some of this machinery that you could get made to model. So these are made for the MPC models for you to utilize and have hands-on access and full control. So utilize it. Just because they drop something new doesn't mean that that's not good anymore. Even those sound like horns, they kind of sound synthy, but they still give the horns vibe, so we want to utilize those. Now we're on plugin 5, track 6. I just want to add some strings in, little string stabs. Might grab a couple of those and add them in there just to give it some build up when we get to our trap mute, so it'll help better with the arrangement. Remember the cheat code that when you press the pad, another pad lights up. That's basically telling you which keys are in. You could play and it'll stay in tune. Or the next scale up, the root note and the next scale up on that root note, or whatever is probably a better term to say it. We're gonna go over here and add some reverb. Remember I tell you your plugins already have reverb, delay, and a lot of that stuff mixed already on there. So before you gotta go to the effects and remake the wheel, just hit some of the tabs down there at the bottom and get familiar with your plugins and their screens. couple of these notes, I'm probably going to have to make a Midi synth track. In order to add the high notes in for these strings. It's a lot going on in the producer world, man. I really want to say a lot, but in times like these, I just make more music, man. I've been making music a very long time, and I've seen things come and seen things go, and at this point, it's always best just to make more music. So notice I named that Strings 1. Now I'm going to make a new track and make it a Midi track. And then I'm going to name it Strings 2. And I'm going to send the Midi to the plugin so that way I could play other notes and mute them when I choose. You'll see. I gotta go to Midi send and change it to strings, and then whatever I play on the pads will go to the strings plugin. Playing everything in my loop on top of each other and know that it works, because once I know that everything can play together, all my tracks can play together and the beat sounds full, then I know I'm done and we could go over and start to subtract things and start making an arrangement. So right now I'm doubling it out. I'm going to double it out to 64. And you see our 7 tracks. We're going to go ahead and audition it to start with our mutes. Make sure you check out the O.T.G stimulus pack. That'll give you 45 expansions, over 15 gigabytes of expansions. You'll get these drums and those expansions. You'll get the over 400 progressions. You'll get a bunch of different other drum kits and different things, you know, to beef up your MPC so you can have a bunch of sounds and get started. You know, I know a lot of guys, when you first get your MPC, it's hard to determine or get the right stuff. So what I do is just give you what I have on mine, and then you can see for 2 years I've been using the same sounds and different sounds, my own sound packs for these beats, you know, and that way we could work together. If you want to support, you could support. You know, you could go buy the master class, which has all of these videos in one place. You know, very soon I'm going to go screen by screen. You see, I'm getting better with getting how my screen shows up on camera. We slowly getting it better. So, you know, lifetime updates on everything that we do. Right now, I have the automation going, so we're recording in. We're actually sequencing this beat right now. Yes, everything I have up there works for the Force. I do have other classes coming and things on the way. Just have patience with your brother, man. I'm a musician, I'm a producer, I'm a father, I homeschool. I make the videos, I'm a manager to DJs and a couple of artists. I do a lot of things, you know what I mean? I do a lot of things every day. So, you know, in my off time, that's where I come in and I record videos of, I just turn the camera on and I make beats and I record it, and then we show it later. You know, I make all these beats the same day. I do the voiceovers, you know, do a lot of different stuff to try to help the culture moving forward. So hopefully this is helping you guys. You guys are learning. I'm starting to see more in the comments. You guys are picking up from the workflow. Understanding that this is just me sitting down just like you, turning on the MPC, going and grabbing some drums, grabbing a progression, and playing around and seeing what I come up with and creating from that. You know, after a while, there should be no reason why you can't get beats done in your MPC. You know the method, you've watched it 100 times, it's just up to you to do it. It's not really up to the sounds. You know, you should invest in all the plugins for your MPC. You should invest in your library on your MPC, you know, because one day you won't. But you want to make sure that you have enough drums, snares, samples, MP3s, all kinds of things, so you can create as long as possible. What if the computer goes down and you can never access it again? What you got on your MPC is what you got, and there ain't no upgrading no more. You know, you should think in those ways, prepare for those ways, and get it together. Right now, we're going over to the pad mutes. Because I loaded this kit up, I'm going to go and make sure none of them are in mute groups, pad mute groups. I'll explain those in the next video. But right now, we're just going to do some very important muting with the hi-hats and the snare, or the clap, or whatever the percussive sound is, Congo. So now we're going to start it. It could just start with the kick. We could customize our drums even more utilizing the trap mutes and drum mutes. If it's something you don't know how to do, I advise you watch a bunch of my videos. This method is the method to me to give you the most organic feel when it comes to arranging your beats in a way that you could play them back. Save you from making major edits. You can always go back to list edit and erase the on-off messages for the automation. It's a little tedious, but with practice you get better. So literally most of the time when I do this, you guys watch the video, I do it so much that I'm pretty on point with my mutes, so there really is no reason for me to go back and fix it or to nudge it or do anything like that. If I was to unmute it off beat, some of that I would go back and fix it. But as of right now, we're about 20 beats in and I haven't had that issue. So practice makes perfect. Also, you can see why I should have colored the pads. I normally do that, but you can see now they're all the color of the drum kit that I loaded. But I wanted to show you that it's easy to just load new sounds in the drum kit. Just go and search your expansion and you can find it in there. You know, you can make beats with presets. Go through, find a preset you like, get a good chord progression, put it in a key or something that catches you, come up with a nice little riff. You know, if you want, you can add a bunch of effects to it, mix it down, then chop it and sample it. Or you could use it and just play it out and use it as a backbone and start to build your track. Once you build your track, go back in, do your automation. That's where it makes the most sense to me, in my mind. That's my recommendation. Always do it last, or at a good point where it will make sense. If you mess up, you're going in there and fixing it in totality versus doing it super early and then having to copying and pasting short automation messages throughout your whole beat. Could get a little sloppy and confusing to the MPC. Once you get done, go through, hop on your master channel. Right now, you know, I love this EQ. Touch it, make sure each knob feels good, make sure it feels good with how it's sounding. And then guess what, guys? I think we got another one. The main purpose of this video is just to get you open up and cooking. You know what I mean? Walk you through the steps. Progression, always. You can always get it started with a progression. You can make up-tempo fire, down-tempo beats, all kinds of beats using progressions. It's just all in how you play it. You play longer notes, you can feel sadder, shorter notes, you feel more up-tempo. You know, your hi-hats can definitely dictate the feel, your drum pattern. But just to show you, you can open it up. You don't have to have the perfect sample. You don't have to be a keyboardist. You don't have to have a keyboard. You don't need a bunch of stuff. You can get it all done with the MPC pads, MPC3, with the plugins. You know, it comes with some normal progressions, but hell, I could give you enough where it'll take you forever to go through them. Check the link in the description. That's the way you support this channel. And this beat is fire. I don't know about these other YouTubers, but I ain't hearing them making stuff like this. This shit slap. From nothing. We got another one. O.T.G.